Tonight we're really pleased to have with us Jennifer Jordan, who is the founding director of the All Abilities Media Project. Jennifer's underselling it a little bit. Erin's this woman who's in her late 40s, and she has Down syndrome, as Jennifer said, and she came in saying, I want to be a reporter. I want to do what Jennifer does. And Jennifer taught her how to do podcasting and how to be a video host. And so she created her own podcast, and for the last 2 years, she's won a Golden Quill each of the past 2 years from the Press Club of Western Pennsylvania. The job that she had before, she was washing dishes, and now she's actually appearing on camera as a video host. And so that's the kind of thing that is very exciting about this project, taking someone like that who, because of the technology exists now, we're able to give people opportunities to have their voices be heard in ways that didn't exist before.
Veterans who were coming back to the United States, there are a lot of stories to tell, a lot of them difficult stories. And it really requires the kind of journalism that NPR does to be able to tell those stories well. And so we have Quil here to talk a little bit about that. He has been to Pittsburgh once before. That's one of the questions that I get a lot about this evening. And he came here and did some exceptional work right after the Tree of Life shooting and worked out of WESA. And we were grateful for his support in helping cover that as well. Let's get on to it. Quil, please come out. Quil Lawrence from NPR.
I'd asked somebody at an Afghan base as he was frisking me as I was walking onto this base. He said, "How long have you been over here doing this, sir?" And I said, "Oh, probably since you were in grade school." And it turned out I had been doing it since he was in grade school. They still have a lot of problems with the original caregiver program. And one of the big problems that NPR has highlighted is that they have been administering this problem really arbitrarily, and people will get kicked off the program with no explanation. One of those people who got kicked off, and I just couldn't believe it when I heard this. For now, VA has reached out and encouraged Matt and Alicia Lammers to follow their care plan and then reapply in 6 months. And they say they will. But it still hurts that the VA said Matt hasn't improved in 8 years.
All three of my limbs are still amputated as they were June 2007. Those have not grown back.
I still have to help him. I still have to drive him. I still have to take him to appointments.
And I wouldn't change anything for the world. I'm not complaining, and I don't get hung up on injuries.
I still gonna do it even if you pay me or not.
But what exactly do they expect from us triple amputees, single amputees, paras? I can't really comprehend that.
They agree Matt is doing better right now than he has in years. But the Lammers say that's not the point. At his best and at his worst, it shouldn't matter. They've earned it, and they need the help.
One of the things I kind of learned from your reporting is that, we have this idea in our heads that the veterans who commit suicides are the ones who've seen terrible stuff in combat. That appears not to be true. That in fact, a lot of that increased suicide rate is driven by people who never actually saw combat action at all.
Well, there are two interesting factors for veteran suicide. One is very obvious, is that veterans by definition know how to use firearms. And firearms are much more deadly than any other method of suicide. So if you take pills, then there's a much greater chance someone will find you and intervene and prevent your death. Vets know how to use firearms, especially women vets compared to women civilians. And so they have, that might be one explanation. And I've actually done a story with some vets who have kind of a designated driver thing going on where they'll tell their buddy, "Listen, I'm in a bit of a dark space right now. Will you come and take all the guns out of my house?" There is this divide between military and civilian in this country, which I think is a very dangerous thing that keeps people from connecting, and it can be very isolating for vets.
When a child goes missing, authorities can send out an Amber Alert. It reaches people in the area through their phones, their radios, TV screens, and on highway billboards.
Those are a bit different from the Green Alert. It's a new warning system for veterans who are believed to be at risk. So far, Wisconsin is the only state with a Green Alert program, but a bill to promote it nationally is moving through the U.S. Senate.
It's statewide with name and license plate number, picture, height, and weight.
Suffers from PTSD from his service overseas as well as depression. He may be traveling to North Dakota and may have a handgun in his possession.
That's how it sounds. This is how it feels if you're the veteran.
My face and vehicle information and everything everywhere on the internet, radio, It was on the highway signs, and to hear them say things like, if you see this veteran, don't talk to him, don't approach him.
We're withholding the sergeant's name to protect his privacy, though it's a bit late for that in Wisconsin. He never consented to having his name and his health conditions made public.
When it felt very violating, made me want to kind of crawl into a bigger hole.
It's partly inspired by an audience question, which is kind of whether it's ever been a struggle for you, having been somebody in covering combat, whether it's ever been difficult for you. And I have to imagine that dealing with these guys helps with a lot of that, reporting on them. And I'm wondering what you've learned from those veterans that you've kind of taken into your own heart and your own life.
Yeah, I in a way, I can see that one of the things that you need if you come back from something like that was a big part of your life is a new mission in a way. And especially if you've been, if it's been your whole existence for a while, and if you started out when you were young and maybe it was the 10 most formative years of your life were spent doing that, I think I found a mission in doing this. It took me a little while to realize, but as a transition, it's been, for me, it's been really helpful to be working on this beat.